Well, thanks for visiting us this morning at ArklateXhomepage.com. I'm meteorologist Josh Marces with your Tuesday morning forecast update. We've had the heat wave over the last week here, and we finally broke that, but it came at the cost of seeing Hurricane Ida move through the region here. And after all that hoopla with the weather over the last week or so, we just get back to regular summer today as we'll have highs wind up in the mid-90s. Pretty hot day today as well as tomorrow. We'll have the heat index coming in just below 105 degrees. So we don't have a heat advisory, but we are kind of pressing up to that range where we usually see those issued. So I don't think we'll see those this week, but it is going to be pretty toasty, like a sauna out there today with the heat and humidity up to 90 by noon. And we should have highs in the mid-90s this afternoon. It will get a little bit better later this week, and I'll explain that in just a moment. But your temperatures to start out here, we actually have a few locations in the 60s, including Minden at 68 degrees. Most of us in the low 70s here. And the wind will still be out of the north today. Again, Ida's moving up into Tennessee, so it's still close enough that it's kind of dominating our wind pattern today. So the wind should stay out of the north and northwest about 5 to 10 miles per hour. But it will be very light wind today after a breezy day at times yesterday. But we didn't see any issues or major issues, thankfully, due to Ida moving through the region here. But we should begin to see things kind of calm down as far as the weather today. Should wind up mid-90s in all locations this afternoon. So we are running just a few degrees above average here. And you can see that Ida is now far enough away from us that we are not going to see any issues with that today. So I've taken rain out of the forecast. There is possibility we do have a few pop-up showers maybe close to the region this afternoon, but I don't think we'll see enough to put the rain chance in the forecast. And there's Ida, which is going to be moving up through Tennessee, bringing some heavier rain up through the Virginias and up into the coastline here over the next day or two. So again, that's out of our hair at this point here. Don't have any impacts from Ida in your forecast today. So look at your Robinson to Futurecast. Probably a few morning clouds out there and just kind of partly cloudy this afternoon. You can see some of those spotty showers popping up. I don't think we'll see enough to generate any rain here, or at least enough rain to measure in the Arklatex. That's why I've left the forecast dry today. However, we have a weak little kind of what you'd call maybe a frontal boundary moving in late tomorrow into Thursday. So we do have that 20% chance of rain back in the forecast midweek. But what this front will do, I do think it will turn our winds to the north here for maybe a day or two, or at least the winds out of the east. So that should drop the humidity just a smidge. I think the jury's still out on just how dry it will be out there, but I think the humidity will drop off enough that it should feel a little bit better after Thursday, even though highs will stay in the mid-90s, and the morning temperatures should be much nicer later this week. In fact, we could have a lot of areas in the 60s each morning, potentially Friday through the weekend. So the latest advisory weather prediction center is now handling the advisories on Ida. It is still a tropical depression, but you can see the heavy rain bands still developing along the southeast Louisiana coastline. So at this point, they still can't catch a break, but we do expect things will start to improve down there in the next day or two. 7-day for us, again, mid-90s through the weekend. Do think it will feel better with that lower humidity as the wind turns to the east here Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We've got obviously Labor Day weekend coming up here. I have put a little rain in the forecast early next week. It looks to be just that. I think just a little bit of rain. So if you do have some outdoor plans over Labor Day weekend, on Labor Day itself, nothing to be worried about there for the time being. And notice some of those morning temperatures, at least Shreveport in the low 70s, which means the northern Arklatex very well could have mornings in the 60s late this week and into the weekend.